Hello, back with another VOD review. This is a Platinum 1/Diamond 5 player on Eichenwalde. Apparently they keep just alternating between Diamond 5 and Plat 1. They did note that they won this game, but I feel like they didn't play very well. And they're wanting some tips because they feel like they've been stuck at this rank for a long time now and are not sure what they need to change to be better. Have a bit of a look and see if we can give a few key points to focus on. Don't do this. This is like excessively like greedy to actually peek out. Like I'm fine with you like taking the rotation to here. I'm fine with you taking a rotation to here and shooting out, but actually just like walking out inside of the enemy team like is a terrible, terrible idea. Okay, like they don't have any like crowd control, like a hinder or a stun that can like instantly punish you. But like the reality is you don't want to like come out here, take a bunch of poke damage, or not even poke damage because you're in front of them, just take a bunch of damage, have your TP forced, end up TPing back to your team, only to then have a monkey land on top of you, bubble you off, and you've got no TP to get out, and you just get zapped to death. Like this is like not the play here. I think coming and taking just like a few kunai from this angle, like standing here, throw out a few kunai for damage, that's cool. If they start looking at you, no worries, you can actually just like DP. You don't have to like immediately TP out. Or even if you did immediately TP out, you'd want to make sure that you do it without taking heaps of damage. Just it feels like a really terrible play, right? We're also like seemingly throwing the kunai at the bastion. Is that who we're aiming at? I mean, I guess he's like half health, but I don't know about this one, hey? So we get marked out. Is the monkey going to punish us? Nah. I think that's just a luck of the draw for you, though. Like, had you have TP'd to, like, the Mercy, and, like, had you have, like, looked this way for your TP instead of looking that way, like, you and Mercy would both be getting zapped right now with you having no cooldown to get out. So maybe, like, don't go quite so aggressive to, like, just straight up walk directly into the enemy team. You need to peel for your soldier. You need to peel for you failed to peel for your soldier. It's like we see a Lucio zip past us at full speed. We see him start shooting the soldier. You just don't quite react well enough. Like you could have probably hit a Zuzu here to save him. Obviously the soldier gets beamed very, very quickly by this Lucio. But really it's definitely your job to try and help him out from this, right? Also, I guess because again we don't have TP up, it makes it slightly harder because we don't have line of sight. I mean, ideally we probably would have like never been in this like room in this situation. We probably would have just like kept playing from around here and poked at the enemy team and that sort of thing. Like coming down here may be okay, but like had you have just like poked the main angle from around here, I think you could have reacted a lot better, and your team is super split now. At the end of the day, like especially on this stage of this map, it feels like there's like heaps of value just from playing around here and throwing kunai down main, to be honest, without taking like a huge off angle on this particular point, because there's always just like people here, right? Like there's always people walking around here that you can kunai. So yeah, it sucks that the soldier dies. It sucks that the soldier feels super savable, but you ultimately let him die. Monkey's on you now. Monkey died. Okay, cool. Yeah, we need to get into this little room for cover. So I would like play from here right now rather than out on the point. I don't know that this Lucio is going to run you through, but just because your Mercy's dead, like you don't want to take, and you're already missing some health, you don't want to take a heap of chip damage right now. Like I would be playing from here, healing my team, and then if I start getting focused, you can just walk back and grab the mini and duel someone that comes in on you. Like you don't want to like abandon the team, of course, but just consider cover. I suppose if you're aiming to play from behind the cart here, then that also mostly works. You just don't have like a little health back that you can instantly fall back on. And if you're gonna like not heal your team for a while, you need to actually kill this Lucio, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. I mean, your DPS have literally just died around you, right? So like, we come out here, right? We do it one heal, we heal the cart, we heal one more time, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know, I think like throwing 6 kunai in a row without healing either of your teammates probably not good. Your Cassidy's killed 2 this fight. It feels like if you went a little bit less like DPS mode, like you don't need to heal bot, you don't need to like go the other way and just heal 6 times in a row, but like, you know, Kiriko can throw a kunai and then heal and then throw a kunai and then heal and then throw a kunai and then heal. And you can do that without like sacrificing your healing uptime, right? And you still do like pretty decent damage. When the fight's going really well and people aren't hurt, like you might throw 2 kunai and then heal, or you might throw 3 kunai and then heal. But even then, like, I watched one of my own VODs the other day and I realized like I do have a habit of like pre-healing during team fights. Like, you know, if we come back to this like initial thing of like, we think they're coming from here at the start of the round, I'll like throw 2 or 3 kunai, but even if like my tank or my DPS who's playing here aren't hurt, I'll just like pre-heal them, because at the end of the day, like, they're the most likely people to take damage, right? So if I pre-heal them and they end up taking no damage, then cool. If I pre-heal them and they end up taking damage as my like papers are flying towards them, then even better, right? And then back to 2 or 3 kunai, heal or pre-heal or whatever, right? I feel like what you could have done better in this is obviously not like gone for the deep flank where you walk into the enemy backline. I think Mercy was probably savable had you have just like played with your team, because Mercy gets isolated and killed by a monkey because you are so out of position. You're like playing from the enemy backline when she gets dove, and then you TP over to the Cass, or maybe you TP over to the Cass and then she gets dove at the same time. But you're just in a position where you can't help the Mercy, and that's a result of you making a poor decision over here. You're too slow to help the soldier, which is also a result of the poor decision over here. And then we make one more poor decision here, which is we try and go full DPS mode. We don't even secure the kill on the Lucio. And I think Lucio's just disconnected, has he? What the fuck's happened? Maybe he's disconnected. And then we sort of like don't help our Cass out. Obviously, I was suggesting that you play from around here, and it would have been difficult for you to heal the Cass from around here. But realistically, if we sort of backtrack just a little bit here. So after you TP over, right, so let's assume that we do play this angle for a couple of seconds, maybe 3 seconds, 1, 2, 3. I guess we would have only just lost line of sight here, which could have been like another full heal going his way. Would he have lived? Maybe, maybe not. I guess the Echo is going to beam him down, but it's not as though you did anything to really help him, right? And then the Lucio has seemingly disconnected from the game. Yeah. Maybe that's going to be the... Why would you TP? So maybe that's going to be the saving grace, because although you have basically just let 3 people die around you without really giving them much of a thought or consideration to helping them, they did have a disconnect. So you don't need to TP 1 meter to heal him, right? Like... You can just like walk to the left, right? You can like stand on top of the cart or whatever. Don't, you know, we talked about this at the start, like what we don't want is for you to get your cooldowns forced for like no value and then come back and then get pushed by a monkey or whatever. Obviously monkey's not here, but you're now out of TP, and there's like 2 players that are like a genuine threat to you right now. So let's not use, why would we Zuzu? I mean, we've just wasted both our cooldowns. Like, for you to not die here, this is just like pure incompetence by the other team if you don't end up getting punished for this. Because I think your Mercy's not that close to back yet. No, she's not. So, yeah, I mean, you know, I've given this advice in a couple of other VOD reviews for Kiriko recently, but don't use a teleport when you could just walk 2 meters, okay? Like, you could just walk 2 meters. He doesn't need a Zuzu. Even though he's half health, like, think about what's left in the game, okay? Like, we know that their monkey died, we know that their Bastion died, and Lucio has seemingly just phased out of existence by disconnecting, right? Yes, there's an Echo, yes, there's a Moira. Moira will take a tremendously long time to deal this damage to the Rhine's health pool. The Echo can probably walk around and beam him, but Rhine should have almost full shield, right? Almost full shield, yeah. So he can just hold his shield up. Let's try not to like waste both cooldowns for nothing, right? You're lucky that they decide to shoot the Rhine and not you. So this feels better than last time, because obviously you're not just like walking directly into the enemy team. Like they're much further back, so this feels like a safer and more appropriate like angle to poke from. Got that crosshair at head height, so this still looks good. Still looks good. Cool, we get the kill. I think this still looks fine, because again, you're not walking directly into players. You're playing from a relatively safe position where if you started getting focused, you can D-peek easily and not take a lot of damage, right? There's really no reason why you and Ryan and the soldier now can't just keep pushing this, by the way. Easy kill, cool. The Lucy is back now. There's an Echo back capping, but she won't get a tick, I don't think. No. Cool. It's fine. The enemy team's obviously just waiting for the Echo to come back, but they're not patient enough and hasn't died, so this fight should be done as well. And this feels fine. It's fine for you to walk into the enemy backline right now because they're on the back foot, right? Like, you know that multiple people are hurt. You know that, like, Bastion's just used his form. Hazard's just died. Echo's doing the same thing that she's done the first 3 fights, which is going over the roof by herself, so she's not here to contribute. So this feels fine. So enemy team's still a long way away from getting their first round of ults coming up. That's what I'm talking about, like with playing this angle though. It's like you actually like get some like nice kunai value and stuff there. There's always just players around here. Like you can always get value from just like playing back of main as Kiriko. Worried you were gonna Zuzu him. We probably don't want to TP to the tank in this situation because the tank is most likely to take all of the aggro. If you feel like you're in trouble, TP to someone that's actually in your back line rather than to your front line, because now you're just going to get beamed by this coalescence. You'll probably end up Zuzuing straight away. Oh, okay, never mind. Reinhardt hits the slam on the Moira, and so you don't get beamed. I think I can see a world in which this goes like really differently for you though. If the Moira doesn't just let herself get hit by the shadow there. Did Moira not have Fade? That's actually kind of crazy. She did have Fade. It's just a not a good Moira player. Yeah, I would say that advice is still like pretty relevant. Like reconsider the desire to TP directly into your front line when you're in trouble. Go to a safer position. Ryan dies, but it feels like you can probably frag out here. This feels like a free kill. Don't let him get the mega. Nice. Go back and help your Mercy, 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 help your Mercy. Why are you not looking at the Mercy at all? It's like she probably won't die, but like it's weird that you don't acknowledge the Mercy and you go back and you instead like heal the full health soldier, right? I think actually you just don't know that she's there, right? Do we not react at all to the Hazard ult either? I guess you only just got Zuzu back. Yeah, I think through that fight, like most of what you did was fine, other than the TP onto the Rhine, and I think other than maybe ignoring the Mercy. She doesn't die, but I mean, you know, your other sport's critical. You should probably just give them one quick heal, right? You're gonna need to help him. You're gonna need to Zuzu him. Yeah, bummer. Go back a bit. Look at everything you did from the start of this fight on. So we get back here. So we TP in. Cool. We don't take any chip. Do a decent job of throwing a few kunai. I mean, Reinhardt rotates to the right when the rest of the team rotates to the left. So that already makes it a little bit challenging. It's not like you could have like followed the Reinhardt that way. So that's totally understandable that you go left. We do kind of like miss a full heal there. We get a full heal there. I feel like this is probably like a Zuzu timing here, potentially. But anyway, he puts his shield up. He tries to get out. He manages to hit a charge. Our cast dies because we're very focused on the Reinhardt, but I can understand why you're focused on the Reinhardt. Sambo comes through and alright, this fight's over, so we'll skip ahead. Wait, the fight isn't over? Nah, it has to be right. There's no way you guys win that. Yeah. Cool. Alright, so we walk back out from spawn. We're here with the soldier now. Going for a damage angle. Our Ryan is getting bodied. Probably finish off this Mora. You've got TP, you can live. Cool. I mean, you're definitely like keen on the idea of taking flanks and angles and stuff like that. I guess I gave this advice to a Kiriko player who was also in Diamond, actually, similar rank to you. Only like a few days ago, where they were playing like Ilios, and they were doing a very like off-angle damage focused Kiri playstyle, and it worked really well on the first stage of Ilios, which was the Ruin stage, and then it gets progressively worse throughout that. And then in the third round, what happened is the other support swapped to Mercy. And so now, once you've got a Mercy, like the off-angling playstyle becomes a lot less viable, because Mercy's value isn't from pocketing a tank, it's from pocketing a DPS, ideally on a slight off-angle. So what you really want is one of your two main DPS and your Mercy to be on an off-angle, and you really want to be playing with the tank in this composition. I think there's definitely a time and a place for like the off-angling style of Kiriko, and like other than like the very first fight, you did it pretty appropriately through most of the first point, but then the first point doesn't really allow for like a lot of like flanking angles from the enemy team, like other than the echo going up top. Like there's like two ways you can go, right? Whereas this stage is like far more open. There's so many different angles and flanks that can be taken, and I think for you in this team comp, it's probably important that you actually do make it a bit of an effort to play with your tank. Like you don't have to like literally sit like 5 meters behind him, heal botting him, right? But like you probably need to be in positions where you can heal him while still throwing out some kunai and you know, weaving damage here and there, rather than just playing for your own value on the angles, because your Mercy isn't going to be able to keep up a Ryan if he starts getting really focused. And even if she could, again, we wouldn't want our Mercy to be doing that, because if you're just yellow beaming a Reinhardt all game, then like, you know, like there's no value on Mercy, right? Like they would be better off swapping. But like, should they swap here? I mean, maybe not, because like they've got two main DPS that they can pocket. It's a high ground centric point. Like we would really like to see our Mercy and our Soldier, our Mercy and our Cass be like a duo and get value together, right? So I think like, I guess I need to go back a little bit more just to see like, did you have a chance to go to the Reinhardt when you walked out of spawn? And okay, so you're with the Reinhardt now.
That's what I like to see.
Yeah, okay. So I thought maybe what had happened was that you'd just gotten out of spawn and gone straight to the Soldier, but this context is important, because you and Mercy are just doing it like super duper back to front right now, right? Like it should be the other way around. And I think Mercy's not even with him. Mercy's coming back around you. So basically both supports have just left your Reinhardt out to dry at the moment. It doesn't really feel like the right play or the right decision making from you. Like you can't expect your tank to live and make space and contribute value without like any form of healing. You get a kill and you almost get a second kill on the Moira, but like I'm not sure that this is going to end up being a fantastically good trade unless we get that res through. Again, like, you know, our Cassidy's dying and all that sort of thing. Like our team is dying around you while you're like fully locked in on trying to frag out. What's the point? TP 1 meter. I mean, you don't get punished yet again, but this is just like the incompetence of the enemy team. Like your Mercy was above you at that point, surely, right? Like, yeah. So I think like whenever you're going for like damage angles and stuff, you should be really conscious of like where your team is, right? Because I guess we saw it at the first point as well. Like you want to have your like TP out target already like in your head as you're like taking that engagement, right? It's like I think so incredibly easy to see how you could like just instantly die here, given that you TP'd like 1 meter. I think the only saving grace was that the soldier did enough damage on the Lucio that the Moira then decided to heal the Lucio instead of finishing you off. I think that's why you lived. Top right. Okay, but we hit a Zuzu in like 1 second though, right? Like we have Zuzu available. Why don't we just Zuzu our soldier? Because we know that the enemy soldier isn't shooting us, right? Like if you Zuzu your soldier, he will live. Okay. And then you can still throw a kunai straight after if that's what you want to do. I just feel like you're too like damage focused. Like you do need to do damage to like win games, absolutely. Like I wouldn't want to see a Kiriko player with like 12,000 healing and like 1,500 damage. Like that's terrible, right? But I feel like it's just a pattern that we're seeing where you're like so locked in on the idea of getting kills that your team just dies around you. Such a preventable death, right? Just Suzu him. We end up self-Suzuing. What happened to you then? You seemingly just stood still. What the fuck? Oh, maybe you backed up into the pole, I guess. But it doesn't look like the Mercy's going to be able to get this res off either. So, yeah, I mean, you just need to like play this much better. Like, I think first of all, like if things could have gone a lot differently, right? If we had enough awareness to know that our Mercy was in the sky, we could have been on the high ground through this, and then maybe the soldier would advise at us, but that's cool. We can just like DP it or whatever, right? I think given that we have made the decision to TP to someone 1 meter away from us, like we need to actually like help our soldier. Like you didn't heal him, you didn't Zuzu him, you just went for damage and you didn't get the damage fast enough to save him, right? So like if you're going to go for like the hero damage play, then you need to actually hit the headshots to kill the enemy soldier much faster. This is unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. I guess you've just gone back to the Sigma there, yeah. So you live again. I mean, you live by the skin of your teeth quite a lot, right? Messi gets the res off, but Soldier's inside of the enemy team. You don't have Zuzu. You have a TP? Okay, cool. I genuinely thought you were just going to stand there and eat it then, but that's good to see. Soldier got out as well, cool. And then Cass gets 2. Very nice. Messi agrees. Alright, let's reset with our Sig here. Where is our Sigma going to play from? If our Sigma wants to play from down there, that's all good. You can play from here where you can heal him and still like shoot for damage, right? This feels good. The other option could be to try and set up a visor with your ult here. But ideally, I'm hoping that the soldier's about to rotate to the high ground with the Mercy. He has rotated to the high ground. Is the Mercy with him? No. Mercy's pocketing Cass. That's fine. As long as she's with one of them. Right, so we're fully off-angling again. And we can see that the sharks are circling the water. Your Sig is about to come under a lot of pressure, right? There's an Ashe up there, there's a Moira in front of him, there's a Bastion in front of him, there's a Lucio and a Diva above him. So let's see how you handle this. Again, I think like if we rewind the clock a little bit before we actually look at how this fight breaks down, when you're here and the Sig is down there, maybe 5 more seconds back. Let's see, like, does it feel like playing this angle might have generated more value than what you did? We'll just watch this play out for a few seconds. So obviously we poke at the Ashe a bit. You TP out here. I know you rotate across that angle, right? So we walk into the Lucio. I suppose it's actually like we give up a lot of space on the map, but that's not all on you. Like the soldier probably takes a really long time to make a decision to go to high ground, and maybe Cass could have done the same thing as well and gone to high ground and have at least one of the 2 DPS with Mercy on high. But it does feel like maybe you gave up this angle a little bit too easily because we didn't have anyone up here yet to shoot them. you were pretty much the only person that was like doing a decent job of marking this angle, and you kind of gave it up a bit too easy, in my opinion. I think we wanted to make the walk up a little bit harder. Like the Ashe has essentially been able to take this high ground position for free, which is a really powerful position for the Ashe to play from. So we don't really like mark the threat and make the walk up hard like we should do. Okay, soldiers use visor. Are we going to look at him? We're trying to figure out where he is. Cool. We hit him with a Zuzu. We probably don't need to ult here. Fair enough that you go for like a shot there. No worries. Our soldier's done his job anyway. I think Mercy will have res now if she wants it. Yeah, I don't know that she will bother resing that one, but see how we go. But I think you did a good job of like reacting to your soldier's ult and giving him a pocket. This ultimate timing feels okay. I think we just play it really poorly after that, right? So obviously it's unfortunate that our Mercy seemingly has voluntarily flown up into the D.Va's face in an attempt to 1v1 the D.Va, and been punished pretty hard for that. I don't think that that's anything to do with you. Like, I wouldn't have expected you to like pocket the Mercy through that. I think your ult feels good here. I think unfortunately it's just the nature of the uncontested D.Va up there. Also, you not having any cooldowns is a bit of a bummer. You die, but I wouldn't be surprised if your team can just clutch this out. Even with the sound, maybe not. Sound barriers come through. Have to play for a recontest. I was going to say, let's not TP, because we know that our Mercy is there. Okay, we know that our Mercy is there, and you would also know that the majority of the enemy team died. So I think, judging, because I skipped ahead a bit, but judging from the positions, everybody except for D.Va died. So, you know, it's a Mercy and a Sig against just a D.Va. The reason I don't like the idea of you TPing out is, like I talk about in other Kuko reviews, we ideally want to avoid TPing into the unknown unless we have no choice but to do so. Unless you're like significantly smarter than what I'm giving you credit for, I don't think that you know that the Bastion is so far away now, and the Bastion did die quite early in that last fight. Okay, like for all you know, you're TPing into a full health Bastion and a full health D.Va right now, who could both just mow you down. You've TP'd from here because we can see the animation, you know. I feel like similar to what I said about let's not TP 2 meters, like you could probably spend the 1 or 1.5 seconds just to wall climb up here and just have a bit of a look before you do a blind TP in. Don't think we're going to get punished for this one, but I think easily could have. All right, we've got Zuzu, we've nearly got TP. We should be fine here. What the fuck? You didn't Zuzu yourself, you didn't Zuzu the Sig. You Zuzu'd the bomb. Bro, your Sigma is counting on you right now. You know, like he's relying on you. Just Zuzu your feet. I don't know what you're doing throwing it all the way over there. I guess that's just like a panic thing, right? But yeah, that's a bit of a bummer. You could have just saved 2 players. Having said that, if we go back a bit and think about like beyond just not missing the Zuzu, what could you have done differently? Well, if you had have just come up here, then you could have started healing the Sig from here, and you would have had TP available when that bomb went off because it was still on cooldown for 2 seconds. Now, obviously the biggest issue is that you missed the Zuzu, right? I don't know why you threw the Zuzu onto the bomb and not onto yourselves, but whatever. But you could have like TP'd into the Mercy in this situation, had you have not like invested the teleport on a blind teleport before. I'm guessing we just did a blind TP, but I said when you have no other choice, this feels sketchy. I mean, first of all, you've just seen 2, probably 3 people die in the kill feed actually, so this doesn't seem sketchy in any way. I keep skipping ahead and missing out on kill feed stuff, so this feels like you're really totally fine blind TP here, because you know that there can only be 2 people alive. Odds of those 2 people clutching it up and killing 5 is pretty low. Let's have a little bit of a look at the attack. Let's run Zarya now. So we probably over focus on damage again a little bit there, right? Like, and it seems like our Bastion died, so did our Bastion die because of us? Alright, so we walk out, we do a little bit of healing, a bit more healing, a bit more healing. Yeah, I mean, funnily enough, we don't throw kunai for a while there. Bastions just kind of gets blown up, to be honest. Like, I'm not surprised he didn't do that. So here, I think like we can throw 1 or 2, but we need to go back to healing a little bit earlier. Zuzu is somewhat understandable, I guess. He's half health. You don't want him to get headshot by Mei. We need to just really heal bot for a few seconds and stabilize our team. Alright. Start throwing a few kunai, healing in between. We don't need to TP. Yeah, he might be half health, but like he's now like D-peaked. At this point, he's D-peaked the enemy team, right? So if he really needs a heal, there's a mega in there. Otherwise, I think we need to like focus on throwing some kunai, healing our guy here. If we're TPing anywhere, we're probably TPing to our Mercy to help support this Zarya push. But realistically, I think Bastion can just grab the mega because he's just used his turret form anyway, hasn't he? Yeah, so it's going to be 12 seconds before he can really take another turn anyway. So I think we don't want to like waste our TP there. Your Zarya's in trouble. You need to prioritize helping your Zarya. And your Mercy dies, yeah. I mean, you are just too locked in on the idea of doing damage. I feel like you can see a critical health Zarya, you can see a Mercy, and then your response is, well, I'm going to throw like 7 kunai at long range and see what happens. We'll watch one more fight and then I think we'll wrap it up. We dodged that, that's good. Mercy. Cool. Good Suzu. Alright, we've got a really powerful like turn coming up. Don't teleport when you could walk. It's unfortunate, I guess, that you end up on this really narrow angle. But this feels maybe like not amazing, right? Because we end up TPing. Even if we like don't have a crystal ball and we don't know that we're about to get hit by a Mei ult, like it's the same as what I talked about when you TP to the Reinhardt when he was here. Try and avoid TPing to your front line in front of the entire enemy team because there's always a pretty good chance that you get punished, right, for doing that. Like, if you can't heal the Zarya for a second, I mean, you're just going to have to like peek this corner and then go for a Zuzu from the corner. Like the Zarya has to like take some responsibility to slow down if they're not getting healed or anything like that. Assume, yeah, we die pretty easy. All right. We'll finish it up. So I think like definitely by far the biggest issue with you is not understanding differences in team comp. So again, like with the Mercy, we do need to have a slightly more like heal orientated playstyle where we still do damage, but we're not prioritizing damage. You know, we're weaving in damage in between heals rather than making it a key focus. We also, even outside of having had a Mercy, even if you had a BAP or something like that, delivering big heals, I think that you frequently just go into full damage mode and just ignore your team dying around you, right? Like we saw it where you let like the Mercy die from the Monkey and then the Soldier die and then the Cassidy die and throughout pretty much all of that, you're just throwing kunai. So like not an ideal situation. I think like you need to ask yourself maybe like every 2 or 3 seconds, like where are my teammates right now and like do they need anything from me? And if the answer is no, then keep throwing kunai. But if the answer is yes, you need to like react to that. And I think you need to maybe like think about the angles that you take a little bit more. Like that initial one was crazy into like the Moira, the Lucio and the Bastion, right? And I think like that there is a punish for that in that your Mercy dies because you're unable to do anything to help them. And then, you know, your soldier dies because you're now in a room and you can't see him anymore. But we saw it like at other fights and other stages of the map, and we saw it again here, right? Or the fight before when the Mercy dies in there, and you're just like throwing like 7 kunai at long range in a row. So I think damage is really important on a hero like Kiriko, but you need to also do healing at the end of the day. Like if your team is dying around you, I don't know how many kunai you expect to hit, but like you're gonna have to hit a lot of headshots to make up for the fact that you just let like 3 players die standing next to you, right? I think other things like obviously the way we use cooldowns. So most of your Zuzus were pretty okay. The only one that I remember being like, what the fuck, was the one on the Reinhardt here, when it was 2v2, you and Ryan against the Moira and the Echo who are over here. Otherwise, most of your Zuzus seem like pretty okay and pretty reasonable, right? I think your TP usage is poor. I think like, you know, we saw a few times where you TP to a player who's just a couple of meters away. We see multiple times where you TP to your tank who's like standing in front of the enemy team, so it puts you in like a really bad, dangerous situation. And I think again, like if we can try and avoid doing like blind TPs, unless you feel like there's no choice but to do a blind TP, because you don't want to TP into the unknown. You don't want to just get blown up as soon as you TP into a fight, right? But yeah, again, by far the biggest thing is that you need to like think about your teammates just a bit more and giving them a bit more pocket, because it's sort of unacceptable to just have people die around you while you throw kunai at like a 30% accuracy or something like that, right? Hopefully this helps. Good luck.